Imagine a king so obsessed with legacy that he built a mountain to bury himself in. A king so paranoid he turned that same mountain into a fortress, fearing a revolt. And a king so brutal he ordered the deaths of his own family and even babies to protect his throne. This isn't legend, it's history. I'm speaking about Herod and the Herodium. Stay tuned to learn more.
Welcome to Faith Affirming Findings, a podcast dedicated to sharing with you
the incredible discoveries from the field of biblical archaeology.
These findings will strengthen your faith, affirm the historicity of Scripture, and provide you with unique insights into the culture and background of the Bible.
Now, here is your host, Associate Professor of Bible Exposition at Dallas Theological Seminary,
Dr. Paul Weaver.
Welcome back to Faith Affirming Findings. Today we're exploring the Herodium, a site that screams of power, pride, and paranoia. The Herodium was never lost over time. This is because this man-made mountain rises prominently south of Jerusalem, a monument to immortalize Herod. But in modern times, it was first identified by Edward Robinson in 1838. Major excavations began in 1962 and then in 1968. But the man most associated with the Herodium is Ehud Netzer, who spent 38 years uncovering the Herodium. It's humbly named by Herod himself after himself. The Herodium lies 9 miles south of Jerusalem and just southeast of Bethlehem. It covers 40 acres and was built between 23 and 20 BC. Herod built a fortress on an artificially created hill, designed to be seen from miles away. It featured a palace, a large pool, gardens, a Roman bathhouse, and even a theater. Netzer described the lower Herodium as a sort of royal country club with an enormous pool designed, get this, for swimming and small boats. Herod built the Herodium to be both a retreat and a fortress, and ultimately his final burial place. Josephus records that Herod's funeral ended at the Herodium, where he was buried in a grand procession. But for centuries, the exact spot of his tomb remained a mystery. But in 2007, Ehud Netzer announced he had found Herod's tomb. A mausoleum with 3 sarcophagi, including one made of red stone believed to hold Herod himself. Despite criticism, Netzer remained convinced this was Herod's final burial place. As you probably know, Herod was not just a builder, he was a butcher. Josephus records that he executed 300 military officials in a single day, slaughtered 2,000 rebels as well, and even killed family members, including his wife and 3 sons. Caesar Augustus said of Herod, "It is better to be Herod's hus than his huios." This is a clear play on words in the original Greek language. A parallel translation might be, "It is better to be Herod's sow than his son." Why, you ask? Because he would not kill a pig. It was an unclean animal. In contrast, he would and did kill several of his sons. Herod even ordered thousands of officials to be killed upon his death so that people would weep at his death rather than celebrate. Of course, when he did die, this atrocity was not performed. Herod's infamous reputation for bloodshed set the stage for one of the Bible's most horrific events, the slaughtering of the innocents. Matthew 2 describes Herod's paranoia and murderous response to the birth of Jesus. When wise men asked about the King of the Jews, Herod was enraged and later ordered all male infants under the age of 2 in Bethlehem to be killed. This atrocity matches Herod's known character, a tyrant who would stop at nothing to preserve his power. What is the significance of the discoveries at the Herodium? First, the Herodium confirms a real Herod existed, as both Scripture and Josephus describe. Second, Herod's architectural ambitions match the biblical portrayal, a man obsessed with legacy and security. And third and finally, his violent behavior affirms the gospel account of a king who would slaughter babies to protect his throne. An exhibit of Herod's tomb is currently on display at the Israel Museum in Jerusalem. If this video on the Herodium and on King Herod affirmed your faith in the historicity and reliability of Scripture, please share it, like it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can become aware of more archaeological discoveries that bring the Bible to life and affirm the historicity and reliability of Scripture. And that is your faith-affirming finding of the week.
Faith Affirming Findings podcast is a listener-supported podcast devoted to affirming your faith in the reliability of Scripture and illuminating your understanding of Scripture.
If you would like to help sponsor the Faith Affirming Finding podcast,
You can make a tax-deductible donation of any amount, large or small,
at faithaffirmingfindings.com. That's faithaffirmingfindings.com and click on the Give tab.
We hope you'll join us again next week for another exciting faith-affirming finding.